respected guests and dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, the Muslim Ummah is facing many challenges. One of the growing challenges is atheism. According to Pew Research in its report, How the Global Religious Landscape Changed from 2010 to 2020, Christianity is the largest religion in the world with 2.3 billion people, while Islam came second largest with 2 billion Muslims. Atheism, which is included in the category of religiously unaffiliated, came third largest with 1.9 billion people. We often hear that Islam is the fastest growing religion, which is true. Just in 10 years, the Muslim population increased by 6.8 million people. However, an important point to notice is that atheism has also increased. It is the second fastest growing religion with an increase of 270 million people. What does this mean? It means that many people from different faiths are leaving their religions and becoming atheists. So today, let us talk about atheism, what it is and how Islam deals with it. What is atheism? Even atheists themselves struggle to clearly define what atheism is. In 2009, Paul Kleuther, a professor in the University of Leiden in the Netherlands, wrote a 23-page article just to define what atheism is. The final definition he said was, an atheist does not believe in the God that theism fails.
Hello.
Negative definition. It says what atheism is not, but it does not say what atheism is. It just says atheism is not theism. Because of this negative definition, the atheists remove the burden of proof from themselves. They say that they have nothing to prove. Because of this, when we ask them about their beliefs and about the most basic human questions, their answers are very weak. For example, how did the universe come into existence? Why are the cosmic constants set so perfectly for life? How did the first cell come into being? What is the basis of morality? And how do you decide what is right or what is wrong? The atheist.
Hello.
But their behavior shows otherwise, and their attitude tells a different story. For example, these are the four famous leaders of New Atheism: Richard Hawkins, Sam Harris, Christopher Hitchens, and Daniel Dennett. These four leaders are what the atheists follow around the world. They openly preach atheism just like a religion. They confront other religions and they try to convert people into atheism. This does not match the claim that atheists have nothing to prove. If you truly had no claims, you would act like an agnostic, someone who says, I don't know. An agnostic would answer questions like, is there a creator? Is there a purpose to life? Are there moral standards with a clear I don't know? But atheists do not do this. Why? Because no human being can live without clear answers. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the prophets to provide clear answers for humanity. Even atheists live with the confidence that they can know the answers even if they deny God. Our most respected guest today, Sir Kaisar Ahmad Raja, once debated a Pakistani atheist. The debate lasted for 4 hours. In the debate, the atheist failed to convey his moral claims very clearly. Thus, Sir Kaisar clearly showed how weak and shallow the atheist claim of moral superiority really is. Atheists often say that religion causes wars, conflicts, and deaths. Let us look at the history of atheistic regimes. Mao Zedong in China, 50 million deaths. Joseph Stalin in the USSR, 20 million deaths. And Pol Pot in Cambodia, 2 million deaths. These were purely atheistic regimes that tried to remove religion completely. History does not remember them as peacemakers. They remember them as mass murderers. Atheism often has questions but no answer. To elaborate this further, I would like to call my co-host Asha Ali Beg onto the stage.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Atheism has no questions. Atheism only has questions but has no answers. Atheists do not offer solutions. They do not provide any answers. They only raise questions. The Quran, however, guides Muslims with strong evidences and clear answers that atheism cannot refute. Let us look at Islam's evidences for the basic human questions. The first evidence is of moral choice and free will. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, أَفَنَجْعَلُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ كَالْمُجْرِمِينَ مَا لَكُمْ كَيْفَ تَحْكُمُونَ. Then will we treat the obedient ones like the criminals? What is the matter with you? How do you judge? Surah Al-Qalam. We have free will to choose between right and wrong. It would be unjust if a good person and a corrupt person had the same final outcome. Atheists fail to prove that why humans have no free will. They also fail to explain that why good and bad actions should have the same ending. The Quran gives a clear answer that Allah will reward good and punish evil. The second evidence is that the world is designed for us. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ لَكُم مَّا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا. He is the one who created everything for you on this earth. The world perfectly fits human needs. The oxygen existed before humans, fruits contain vitamins, milk contains calcium, and meat provides protein. Everything was already prepared. But the real question is, who prepared it? The atheists have very weak explanations. The Quran, however, gives a very logical and a clear answer that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who created everything for human use. Now let us look at the example of Antony Flew. Antony Flew was one of the most famous atheists in history. He supported atheism for decades. However, after studying the Human Genome Project, he realized that with the complex coding in human DNA could not happen by chance. So there must be an intelligent designer. And he later wrote a book about it titled There is a God. And the third evidence is that the life has a purpose. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Holy Quran, الَّذِي خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. He is the one who created death and life to test you as to which of you is the best in deeds. Surah Al-Mulk. Everything has value when it serves a purpose. So what is our purpose? Why do we live? And why should we do good? Atheists have no answer. The Quran, however, gives a clear answer that life has a test and that good deeds will be rewarded while evil deeds will be punished. Now let us look at the example of Maulana Abdul Majid Daryabadi. He was born a Muslim but became a strong atheist, and he even refused to attend family funerals. But he later realized that without the belief in God, life has no meaning. And after studying many religions, he found out Islam to be the most logical one. Later he became a great scholar of Quran and wrote tafsir of Quran in English and in Urdu. The fourth evidence is that the Quran is a miracle. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, سَنُرِيهِمْ آيَاتِنَا فِي الْآفَاقِ وَفِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَهُمْ أَنَّهُ الْحَقِّ. He is the one, and we will show them our signs in the horizons and within themselves,
Hello, 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 hello.
The truth. Now, atheists have no explanation that why the Quran has been preserved for over 14 centuries, why the Arabic language of Quran is still alive, and why there has been no scientific error proven in the
Hello, 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 hello. Fire. Hello, 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 hello.
Medina Institute went through a period in his life.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Say hello, 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 hello. Say hello, hello, hello.
To that which is the most upright. This Quran steadies the heart when we feel lost. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says in Surah Al-Fussilat, لا يأتيه الباطل من بين يديه ولا من خلفه. Falsehood cannot come near it, before it, or from behind it. Now my simple request to the parents is bring back the Quran into our homes, read it with your children and talk about its meaning and try to implement it in your daily lives. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us all to the straight path. Jazakumullahu khairan wa ahsan al-jada. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.